Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable, the Head of Bachelor of Accounting Study Program, Mrs. Dr. Igusti Ketut Agung Ulupui SM SI AKCA, and the Honorable Board of Examiners. In this video, I will present my internship report at PT Total Oil Indonesia in Division of Finance and Support, Unit Accounting and Tax. Before I start my presentation, please let me introduce myself first. My name is Yuni Widawati. I am majoring in Accounting, batch 2017, Faculty of Economics, Universitas Negeri, Jakarta. I did my internship at PT Total Oil Indonesia. The company is located at Menara FIF, 15th floor, Jalan TB Simatupang, Kavling 15, Jakarta Selatan. PT Total Oil Indonesia has three general activities. The first is exploration and production. Broadly speaking, that PT Total Oil Indonesia performs exploration and production activities of oil, gases, diesel, and biomass in mines that are spread throughout the world. Especially in Indonesia, the company produces oil and gas in headquarters in Mahakam, East Kalimantan. The second is transformation and development. Apart from producing, the company also provides solutions to produce more reliable, clean, and renewable energy for the customers. Therefore, the company carries out transformation and development activities in order to produce various kinds of goods needed by the daily consumers, such as fuel and lubricants. And the third activity is shipping and marketing. Apart from the two previous activities, the company also carries out marketing and shipping for the delivery and sales to retail or B2B customers. Shipping activities also include transporting the gas and oil to the international market, while in retail, it is carried out throughout gas station. Next, the background and how important the internship is. The proliferation of software applications that make work easier is a challenge to become more competitive. It's necessary to develop ourselves so that we become more competent students. And the second one, currently students cannot rely solely on material obtained in classes. So, to be able to compete, we must be supported by expertise and experiences. And then, the purpose of the internship. The first is to develop soft skill and academic capabilities because in this today's era, it will be difficult for the student if only graduated without adequate soft skill. And then the second, I want to understand the implementation of the accounting theory that I have studied before in the real world of work. I understand that the world of work is not necessarily the same as the accounting theory. So it is important for me to understand how to actually implement the theory I have learned in multinational company. And thirdly, I want to gain more experiences. If students only relies on lessons we obtain at classes, then I will not have actual experience in carrying of work. It's feared that later, after graduating and working, me as fresh graduate will be surprised to adapt for work. And the fourth, I carried out internship based on scientific field that I have studied so far. It is accounting. And then, why did I choose PT Total Oil Indonesia as place for my internship program? I understand that multinational companies have an integrated accounting system with the head office, so I have kind of high curiosity about how to coordinate between the head office and branches in Indonesia, especially in financial sector. For a small-scale company, I can imagine a fairly simple financial report, but for a multinational company, where the financial statements of the head office and its branches are in other countries, I have never imagined before. So I choose to do my internship program in multinational company to fulfill my curiosity. And next part, field of work. The first, invoice processing. Invoice processing includes receiving invoice from the user and then send it to big tax check. After I receive tax check reply, I input the invoice that has been tax checked to shared service center that is located in Manila, the Philippines. I also given the responsibility to process the invoice until SST posted it to the SAP. So if there is any invoice that is incomplete, it became my responsibility to contact the user so that the invoice can be completed. The second, PIB processing. Because the business carried out by the company concerns about export and imports, the company received PIB almost every day. I carried out processing by inputting PIB to SST in 2 stages. The first one as an account payable and the second input for the payment. And then the third, the recalculation of land rental. I made a recalculation of land rental based on agreement and addendum owned by the company. This rental project is because the financial manager wants to reconcile the invoice paid with the actual rent calculation. So I was assigned to make a recalculation. And the fourth, fixed asset project. I carried out a fixed asset project for assets in the company's head office. I did it by making a master list of assets and then doing a physical check and comparing the physical condition of the asset list. Asset with book value that was 0, but if the assets could still be used, based on the company's policy, the asset will still be used. But in some cases, the asset with book value that was still in large amount, but physically it cannot be used, it will be submitted for write-off. Based on the company's regulation, the capital expenditure for assets above 5 million rupiah causing a lot of the company's asset in the head office, because every time a renovation or repair or maintenance performed with a value above 5 million rupiah, it will be seen as new assets. And the fifth, I do document filings every Friday for invoices that have been paid. And then obstacle encountered. I separate the obstacles that I face in 2. The first of 2 categories is substantial obstacle. I only assign to input invoice to SSC without being involved in the expenditure cycle. Because I take audit concentration, I know there is some risk in expenditure cycle, but because I was not included in the overall expenditure cycle due to the long department process and bureaucracy, I was in the finance department, it was difficult for me to detect possible risk such as checking approval from the initial purchase requisition until an invoice was issued. And the way I faced the substantial obstacle is I asked the accounting executive, but I ended up with no detailed reason. And the second obstacle is technical obstacle. The technical obstacle that I face is that the workload is too dense. It's caused by the invoices quantities that I received were beyond my expectation, and I feel overwhelmed. In one day, I can process for more than 60 invoices. And the way I solve this problem is by making a timeline every day before I work. Through this, I can set a cutoff when I have to finish processing invoices and do other tasks. And then the last is conclusion and suggestion. Conclusion, I learned to be more responsible and more disciplined for the work that has been given. And the suggestion, I must be more careful in completing the task that has been entrusted by the supervisor. I think my presentation is enough. I feel happy for the chance to become an intern at PT Total Oil Indonesia. I obtained uncountable experience and wider relation. I hope I clearly explained my report. Thank you for the attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.